Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in August, the unemployment rate was 4.2%. It has gone down slightly to 4.1% in September. Now we're obviously in October, and so we have to wait for October to come to a close in order to see if unemployment will continue to improve. Now 4.1% is not drastically horrible. It is not the worst unemployment that we've ever seen. It's actually fairly good to be at 4% unemployment. However, we all feel the pressures of the economy to where it is almost impossible to find a new job. And even if you are looking for a job, companies are being more strategic in their hiring approach because they also understand that there are a lot of people who can look for minimal jobs. Now, I don't search for minimum wage jobs, even part-time jobs, because I am of the belief that one job should be able to sustain you and your life. Now, obviously, if you have a project or event coming up, maybe a wedding, college fund for your children, paying off your home early, that you want to go out there and get another part-time job, that is completely great and up to you should you choose to do that. However, I do believe in maximizing that first job opportunity first. If you make $50,000, how can you make 55? If you make 55, how can you make 65? If you make 70, how can you make 80, right? And so that is what I look at first before looking into how can I then get a part-time job and take in an extra $10,000 to $15,000 a year. So the next thing that I want to get into is depending on where you live, opportunities can be out there should you be willing to go a little further away. Now, I do apologize because I just changed my braces today. So if I sound a little funny, that is exactly why. But what I will say is that when I moved to the state that I was in, I had no idea that all the big money, at least initially for me, would be having me drive over 30 miles away from my current residence. Now, depending on where you live, that could be 2-3 hours, especially in New York if you were driving, or it could be 20 minutes, depending on where you live, again, in the world. So for me, technically, it can take about 40 minutes to get to a workplace that took 35, 37 miles. Especially when I first started, I was working at Amazon and it was in a remote, rural location. And so that was a 47-minute drive back in 2020. And so, you know, those first jobs give you the opportunity and the experience that you need to where that once you get a job within the city, is going to be based on the experience that you've accumulated by going a little further out. Now your life is going to be a little bit more comfortable and you're going to get paid exactly what you are worth while being closer to everything. And so don't be afraid to branch out a little bit. Don't be afraid to spread your wings a little further out and start working at places that are a little further away. And then once you acquire the knowledge, the skills, and of course you're getting paid more, you then will be able to transfer that to a more local facility based on where you are, or if you're a hybrid, even better. So, you know, I've absolutely looked at certain opportunities for myself that I've even passed down in the past, and now fast forward to today, you're seeing that wages have increased across the board for certain city jobs that I may have turned down in the past, or certain logistics and management positions that I may have turned down in the past. They're now opening up roles that can compensate people what they're worth. Now, I'm not saying that I was a change or the catalyst for these things, but definitely I'm a part of it once you deny a role or position that just doesn't suit your lifestyle, right? And so we're in an economy right now where it is very, very difficult for those middle tier and high tier individuals in terms of wages. So when I say middle tier and high tier, I'm not talking about the person's character or who they are as an individual, but more so the wealth that they are accumulating through their job, through their salary, right? So we have middle class, we have upper middle class, and then of course we have our 10 percenters and those making more than average, and then those below middle class who are borderline in poverty or on several types of government assistance. And even those in the middle class, depending on their family size and the dependents that they may have, can also be on government assistance of some kind. And so, it's perfectly fine to require some help, but we want to get to a place to where we are able to function on one accord, right? Be able to function and take care of all of our responsibilities. Now, there are certain things that you can account for, deaths in the family, things like that. And that's where insurance comes in. I normally don't try and bring in too many topics on the same video, but insurance is very important, especially if you're on a fixed income, not making enough to really float or sustain yourself. And if you're not investing, you're not saving, you should at least have some insurance in order to ensure your family is protected. Now, do I have insurance on myself? I do not. That doesn't mean that I never will, but it's because I have the belief in myself that, one, I have so many assets that I can just already pass down to my family members. But my only fear is, would they be able to manage it appropriately, right? And so having insurance may allow me to then just bless them with the ability to pay it off, so now they can take in that cash flow, and then hopefully over time they're wise enough to know when to fix up these properties, when to fix up some of these units, or when to leverage their stocks within the market. And so, insurance can be a great thing. And, it's also unfortunate that we have to think about the worst when thinking about insurance, right? And so I tend to lean more on the optimistic side, but also I put things in place to where I know, hey, my family is going to be okay based on what I've done, as long as they have certain knowledge and certain understanding. And that's why I now hold group calls with my family members once a week so that they can get the knowledge that they so desperately need, right? And after doing a couple of those group calls, they've now realized they should be watching more of my videos. So hi to you all if you're watching. All right. Now, that's really all I had to say today. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to branch a little further out. If vehicles are tight, or if you know some people who work at a job that may be a little further away, a lot of these manufacturing jobs, a lot of these logistics jobs require hundreds of people. And so you can get on the shift with certain people. I know a lot of Somalians that will basically share together and car ride together in order to get things done. Now, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.